So it seems like many of you enjoyed the series of videos on me reviewing the music of some of our students, so we're gonna bring another one to the series. In this case, one of our Momentum students, he did the music for Assassin's Creed, he rescored one of the scenes, and I gave him feedback on structure, music production, and also some tips on film scoring. So that's it, enough with the long intro, let's just dive into it. Hope you enjoy it. Before we continue, let me talk about my philosophy when scoring. In my opinion, this is just the way I see scoring. There are two things and then a third one that we can do. It's gonna be at the micro level or at the macro level. We are always telling a story with music. Now, at a micro level, we've got what I call like the tension release formula, more like the Mickey Mousing side of things. When we have something going on in the scene like the arrow generates tension, it's like, oh wow. The question is like, what's gonna happen after this? And he's like, you know, macho, crash, throw it, right? Tension release is the same thing as question answer. When this character appears, this also creates like the threat, but then he is like, he's my answer, boom. Then the battle starts, which is another story. So at this level, it's a micro level. We're talking, you know, maybe 20 seconds of a story, what's going on in the scene. And we can musically do the same thing, it's question and answer. We can have a tensor chord that resolves with a more consonant chord or whatever, right? We can have a more dissonant texture that resolves in something more consonant. We can have a razor that resolves with a, you know, heat or whatever. We can have a motif that feels like a question and then another motif that resolves, which sometimes it's going to feel a little bit Mickey Mousey, hitting everything, but it will also feel a little bit more old school. Then depending on the style, depending on the genre, and depending most importantly on the filmmaker, that's the most important part, many times we will have to follow that. Now, the second thing that we can do is at the macro level, melody. You know, you've got this scene and you're gonna have this almost like a song on top of the entire scene. Generally, it's a little bit harder, but if you've matched the tone, then it's just magic, it's beautiful. In between what I just said, at the macro level also, in film scoring, many times we're gonna have the melody coming in when there's a space for the music to shine. We've got that shot and we can have music, right? But in terms of scoring, the melody usually is going to be there, or parts of the melody or a motif of the melody. It's gonna be there when the story moves forward. Why? Because the melody has a lot of weight. We recognize the melody very easily, and so it's a sign for the audience to say this is important, the story is moving forward. In terms of scoring, what we can also do is like tension release or question answer sort of thing, more at a micro level. And there are other things. We're gonna have the transitions, we're gonna have the whooshes, we're gonna have the stingers, we're gonna have the hits, all these things. This is what does for the story. Now, for the scene, the music will elevate. So in terms of elevating, we can do several things. We can speed up or we can slow down a scene. Speed up, basically we're going to be talking about pulses. Slow down, we're going to be talking about drones. If we just looked at this scene, what this scene needs, and to me, we just need to make this more epic or more dramatic or darker. So whatever you do, it's your choice. You didn't have an opportunity to speak with the director. Second, structure. Every scene has a structure, and the structure, in my opinion, is the most important element of film scoring. Hey, just a quick break because I wanted to invite you to a live free class on Zoom that I'm gonna be doing next week, I think it is. Link in description. You know what to do. There's gonna be 200, 300, 400 composers just like you. It's gonna be a blast, and we're gonna be talking how to compose soundtrack ready type of music, high quality industry standard type of cinematic music. That's number one, and how to leverage AI to help us move faster in that direction. Number two, in terms of speed, how to configure your workflow so you can compose fast and efficiently, and so you can focus on the music, not on the technical side of things. And three, how to make money with your music, how to monetize your craft and your passion. Now, obviously, to be able to do this, you have to be able to compose high quality, good music. That's why we also will touch in the other two topics. But again, it's gonna be so much fun. I will see you there. I'm just waiting for you to register to the class before we can continue with the video. It's free. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I think I said this many times, yeah. A lot of fun. Lots of fun. So much fun. It's gonna be a blast. Register now. Now. So on these comments that I'm gonna give you, I'm going to focus on the structure first. I would have done a few things slightly different. Starts here. To me, the music starts a little bit too sad, okay, here we go, there's music. To me, the story starts when he gets hit. So up until this point, I would have the music be a little bit more ambient. So have the music start telling the story as he gets hit. As the kind of like the bad guy appears, maybe you can Mickey Mouse this moment and give it a little bit more of depth, or make it important with a hit or something like we've gone for something like a soup bomb, something like this, right? To me, if I were to have fun, I would have hit this way harder, right? It's like, okay, rock and roll. Here's where everything starts. Let's go. You did a great job, and I can see a transition. Definitely in terms of a structure, we had that first part. Here's the second part. Stylistically, what you've done here, I have no problem with this. I would have gone a little bit more aggressive and intense, but that's just me. So I'm gonna focus on the comments more related towards production. I love it. When I say more aggressive, bigger, more intense, we're talking things like staccatos, for example, or we can talk about 7/8 when it comes to meter, syncopated accents, things like this. They're gonna make it more aggressive. We could go a little bit like the style of like the movie 300 with lots of reverbs and whooshes that would work so well with the sound effects that are already in this scene to make it a little bit more modern hybrid. If we wanted to go that route, and that's what we are asked to do, but that's just a different option. What you've done works just perfectly fine. So we've got the jam, gan, the gang, gam. I obsess about the strings and staccatos and the sound of it. So these Cinematic Studio strings. We're gonna talk about aggression just for a second. So this sounds aggressive. Those are cellos. Cellos are going to have a little bit more aggression than double basses. So be careful when mixing like violas, cellos, and double basses for the low staccatos or hits with the strings, because this is not an orchestra. This is we are putting these things together. If we bring too much of the double basses, it's gonna sound a bit more boomy and less aggressive because it's overpowering. So be careful, because the aggression is in the cellos, right? And this sounds aggressive. And this is the spiccato. As we move up to the staccatissimo, it's gonna give a little bit more aggression, and the staccato, a little bit more of weight on the bow. Right? Not that we always want that, but if we've got like za, da, 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 za, za, right? Sometimes we're gonna want to either switch articulations or layer on top of that something that's gonna give us a little bit more of a correction. So this is just a different sound. It's different, like at the beginning of the note. That's why it sounds so weird. It's freaking aggressive. If I layer this on top of the Cinematic Studio strings, now it's gonna add more weight, it's gonna cut through the mix. And then on top of that, we use more of the traditional orchestration just to add more aggression. An oboe is gonna help or an oboe section is gonna help the cellos cut through the mix a little bit more. If we add a snare or a tom or an epic tom or something like that, it's just gonna help that hit, because those are nice. I love those lines, but they get lost a little bit in the mix. Another thing that's gonna help is that as you are stacking all these things, make sure to move them a little bit to the right, so they don't take too much space. Let's continue. Brass sounds great. What's that? I have a hard time understanding what's... I'm moving right like an oboe. Sounds like an oboe to me. And the reason why I'm asking what's this, because an oboe would not sound as loud in a context like this. Loud staccato strings, we've got big brass, we've got drums. An oboe would not cut through the mix, especially in the range where you have it. What you want to have there, di, don, de, da. The first thing what I would say is whatever element that you've got, in this case an oboe, do not have it right there in the center. It's a little bit... If you want to have a melodic statement in that range, we're gonna need a lot of weight. And what you can have is oboes in unison, never, except if you're gonna create this texture, which is a muted trumpet section plus oboes blend very well together. And in this case, having the two oboes in the same register, it's going to work very well with the muted trumpet section. Now, this sound is gonna have enough weight for it to compete with everything else that's going on in the orchestra. And what you can do is, because they sit in a kind of like the similar position, make sure to move them a little bit out of the way, because in the middle we've got sound effects. So move them away a little bit away from the center. So for this low brass thing, what I like quite a bit is a little bit more of the... I like the monster brass type of patch. Now this takes a lot of space, so be careful. I know it's been quite a bit, and now going back to the project and making those changes, but just experiment, try a few things here and there. Give it a try if you feel that this makes sense. Hey, you watched the video till the end, congratulations! Alright, so just comment with the I'm a Composer hashtag, so I know that you've watched the video till the end. And also please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Click the subscribe button. This does three things. First, YouTube is gonna show our videos in your homepage. They are gonna be there when you need them. Second, helps our channel grow, makes us happy to see that number increase. And three, most importantly, it lets the algorithm know that what we are doing matter, and YouTube is gonna put our videos in front of composers like you that want to grow and learn. We're gonna continue to post free videos to add value, but please help us reach more people. Alright, thanks for watching, thanks for your time, congrats again for watching the video till the end. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.